everyone. It is Thursday. We are back with another episode. I'm so happy. We're so happy, I should say, that you're here with us. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Siera. We love you guys.
We love you guys. As always, we're coming to you on Thursday with a new episode.
And if you're joining us for the first time, welcome. We love you. We are two best friends, gal pals from the East Coast of Canada.
Yes.
And we are talking with lots of people every week who are on paths that we can get to know.
Discovering so many new topics and meeting new people, whether here in our community or from afar. And it's just been amazing. It's just been a year now, Siera, since we've been doing this.
It has. And tonight we have a special guest here with us, Ashley. And I don't mean Siera Bearchell, who is here with us.
Who is
officially
the special guest, but we have another co-host.
And her name is Brew Bear, and she is a poodle, a little red poodle, who is sitting on our laps right now. Well,
terrified.
She's not big enough to be on two people's laps.
No, she's tiny.
And she's here with us tonight, and we're so happy to have a puppy in the studio.
Yeah, if you're checking our video out on YouTube, you'll be able to see Siera. You guys have the same color hair right now. I feel like this golden strawberry kiss hair.
I love it. She's a babe magnet, little Brew Bear.
I love her so much. And we want to shout out to Luvo for sponsoring this episode. Luvo is our favorite canned wine. Siera, why do we love Luvo so much? Because we're drinking it literally every episode. Every day.
Every day we drink this. So this is one of our favorite, especially in the summer. I just have to say it's so convenient to take a canned wine, throw it in your bag, go to the park, go to the beach. I'm going to tell you, their rosé, I'm obsessed with. They've got 3 flavors. They have Pinot Grigio, rosé, and they also have the Muscat Mint. All 3 are fabulous. I die for the rosé.
Yeah, this is really good. It's so crushable.
And guys, nothing we love more than a Nova Scotia made wine. And so we love to support local. It's got all those great flavors, and it's all natural, gluten-free, vegan-friendly, all those good things.
And for all the Luvo lovers out there, you can pick it up in store or you can order it online in cases of 24. Here, it's free delivery, New Brunswick, PEI, and then $20 in Quebec, Ontario, and Newfoundland. So be sure to check that out.
We'll link them in the show notes. And thank you for Luvo for supporting us. We love you guys.
So good.
All right. So this week, Ash, I'm dog sitting. It is a new world out there. I don't know that I'm ready for the full-time responsibility of a dog, but I love being able to have one for just a couple of weeks.
Just for fun.
It's like a good test run to see, am I ready? The answer is no, I'm not ready. Because
this dog also requires, if you can see her, she's burrowed into Siera's arm. So she's kind of terrified, but just, I don't know.
She is a baby, but it is just I feel I'm stressed when I have to go to the bathroom because I'm like, oh God, Rue's going to be upset when I leave her. and so I love babysitting her all the time. I will always take her, but it is I don't think I'm ready for a dog on my own. I think more people before they get animals should practice, do a try run.
I think that's a great tip because in theory, I would like to have one. And I'm sure a lot of people feel that way, but it's a lot of work.
We're going to do a dry run this weekend, though, Ashley, because you and I were having a sleepover with the Brew Bear.
Yeah, we've got a big event.
We've got a party.
We've got a party. I'm trying to, it's like a triple party. There's just 3 things happening, but we're going to have a little sleepover and be mom partners.
Co-parenting a poodle who's such a little baby. God love you. Okay, Ash, this has come up a few times. You just moved. We've talked about this before, that your serial killer power, which just means a super weird thing that you love, is moving. Mm-hmm. How has the move gone? Are you feeling it still?
It's going well. Last night, I think we were doing stuff till about midnight because I had it in my mind that everything needed to be in some way kind of in place. Even if it's a picture that needs to be hung on the wall, it needed to be at least up against that wall so I know where it's going. So I kind of was frantic yesterday getting those things done, which feels good. But it's also my second move I moved just only 9 months ago. So I feel like it's a lot, but I do thrive on organizing and purging.
Right.
So when I get rid of things and I fill up these bins, whether it be like giving you guys a few things, like you and Katie, or taking all these bins to Valley Village, it makes me feel so happy. And I throw myself that. I'm like, I don't love this. Like, I don't need this. Get rid of it. And I do kind of just go off that energy.
Oh, you're Marie Kondoing it.
Yeah, not quite that extreme, but yeah, because it's true. We hold on to a lot of things that take up space that we don't actually need.
The reason I brought this up was because I thought that this move may have maybe broken your spirit for moving frequently.
No.
Because you seemed a little not into it a few days. And I was just curious. The serial killer power remains, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, undefeated in the move department. And actually, conveniently, our guest today, Siera Bearchell, is now, I don't want to say my neighbor, but she lives within the building as well. So that's super cool. We kind of found that out more recently.
I think you guys are neighbors. So.
Yeah, I guess her, I, and the other hundreds of people that live there are all neighbors.
Yeah, a cozy little neighborhood. God love it. Yeah, we're so happy to have Siera on. She was Miss Universe Canada in 2016. And this episode is all about pageants. Like, we know nothing about pageants. And Siera started as Miss Teen. She competed in Saskatchewan and won that. And then she went on to be Miss Teen Canada. And then she went on to Miss Canada and then Miss Universe. So she's hit she's got some good pageant experience, we'd say, Ash.
Yeah, and I've actually followed her for a little while on Instagram, and obviously she has a big international reach, and I thought that was really cool, but learning more about her and how she got there and the things that she's done, even just like launching her YouTube channel and having a huge uptick, because as mentioned on the podcast, there was a lot of demand for pageant content, and she's kind of pushing that out into the world. So something you and I have no idea about, or we probably never will.
We know nothing about it. And it was really fun just to even learn like what happens at a pageant, how they pick their dresses, how they pick their swimsuits, like those sort of things. But then of course we dove into Siera's experience at Miss Universe in 2016. She did incredibly well. She placed in the top 9. But she faced a lot of shade. She faced a lot of criticism for her body. And from that experience, because she stood up for herself, she actually became known worldwide as a body activist and was covered by Vogue, Elle, Cosmo, and has really been able to build a platform to help women stand up for themselves and support body positivity. And she is a fabulous soul. I love talking to her.
And seeing some of her YouTube videos and social media posts, I can tell she feels confident with who she is. And meeting her in person, I felt like that came across even more. She really speaks so well. She knows what she stands for. She knows who she is, and she just owns it. And I think that's such a cool thing in that industry for her to be a role model for so many.
Well, and I think it was nice to learn about the pageants, because she really talked about how giving women a platform in the pageants that she had been in was such a key component of it. And that's exactly what you see with her. I think it's because she went through those experiences. She actually took the time to reflect on who she was, what she stood for, and she carries that confidence with her, which is fabulous. She's, God love her. You just want to hug her.
I know, and she's recently moved back to Halifax and is going to be living here on the East Coast. So that's so fun, and I think she'll be a great attribute to the community here.
Yeah, and we actually connected with her because I went to school with her husband. We had a biology class together, and that's how I knew him. And
this is what I love about the podcast. One of many things of how we connect with people, just and become like connected in a deeper level after having such a lovely conversation.
I know, and so it was nice that they're back in Nova Scotia, and then obviously I put 2 and 2 together and we reached out to Siera, but it's just funny to have that little connection with their fam.
Yeah, so I hope everyone enjoys this conversation, and you can find Siera on YouTube and Instagram at Siera, Siera, Bearchell, Bearchell, and be sure to follow her because she's very entertaining, has a beautiful daughter and a cute little puppy. So it's just
lots of good
times.
content, and we'll link everywhere you can find her in her show notes as well.
Yeah. All right. Should we dive in?
Let's do it, gal.
We are so excited. We have the lovely and talented Siera Bearchell here with us today. Welcome, Siera.
Thanks.
We also have a dog here as well today. Another special
so
guest,
cute.
Rue.
It's great to be here with Rue and people.
Yay, we're so excited.
We're so happy. We're happy Rue could join in on this conversation. She's a big fan of yours, Siera, so she asked to be here tonight with you.
Even though she can't even give
She's
me
being
the side
shy.
eye.
Yeah, she's just being shy. She's nervous.
We're so happy to have you here. You just moved to Halifax recently, so you're a new local celebrity.
Oh yeah, right. Actually, I've lived in Halifax before.
Right.
Yeah, so I was here 2 years ago, and my daughter was born here at the IWK, and then we moved away for 1 year to Edmonton, Alberta, the prairies, and now we're back.
Oh, well, we're happy you're back.
I'm happy to be back too. It's been awesome.
But you're from the West Coast, right?
Yes, well, the prairies, Saskatchewan. Yeah,
Amazing.
good old Sask. Yeah.
This must be so different. We're staring out at the
So
ocean right now.
different.
Yeah.
Like the biggest boats that we see are like a pontoon boat or like a speed boat. So when the big shipping,
The tall
oh
ships.
yeah, and like when the
Oh.
cruise ships used to come in, like
Yeah,
that was absolutely crazy for us to see. So
it's so nice.
it is beautiful.
Well, we're so happy you're here because for everyone listening, this is an extra super treat. Siera was Miss Universe Canada 2016, and she placed in the top 9 for Miss Universe, which is like,
amazing.
that does not happen a lot. That is a very hard place to get. So congratulations.
Thanks. Yeah, thank you. That feels like such a lifetime ago, but I'm still very proud of it. It was a proud achievement. Canada hadn't placed at Miss Universe actually for over 10 years. So
That's insane. Well,
thanks.
Thank you for doing that for us, Siera, getting us back on
My
the map.
pleasure.
And we're so happy to have you here because I think for both Ash and I, like, we know nothing about pageants and the pageant world. And so, but it's like
I was in one
fascinating.
once there.
I'm sorry.
Wait, you were in one?
What?
As like the little, I don't know, in the valley they have something. It's like Heart of the Valley Days and Queen, and then it goes to like Miss Nova Scotia, whatever. But I was like the little attendant. Is that what it is?
I have no idea.
Do they do that anymore?
I am very unfamiliar with, like the younger than a Miss Teen. I have no idea.
Okay.
You could tell me something and I would say, sure.
Well, hey, that is nothing to what you've done, but I just had to throw that in there.
I can't
thought Sarah
believe
would
that.
like that one.
I did really like that one because I didn't know, and we're gonna have to do some digging on
We'll
this
find a
topic.
picture.
That's so cute.
Thank God. So I feel like the pageant world is such a mystery. Like here's my idea, probably everyone's idea, and you already know what it is. It's miscongeniality. That's my only reference to pageants. And then seeing on occasion things on TV.
Yes, and I'm sure you guys are familiar with the wrong crown. Universe 2015 announced Miss Columbia as Miss Universe 2015. Awkward TV moment. He comes out and then says, I have to apologize. And then he actually meant to announce Miss Philippines as Miss Universe 2015. So that was one of the biggest TV blunders ever.
Yes.
And so a lot of people know Miss Universe as that. So it's kind of unfortunate that Miss Congeniality and Steve Harvey effing up crowning the winner are what people know, but that's fine. At least it's entertaining.
Oh my God.
I forgot about that
Horrendous.
completely.
Absolutely horrendous. And if you guys don't know actually, so the Philippines and Colombia, those are two of the most intense, insane pageant countries in the world. Those fans are cutthroat.
What?
Insane. So like, yeah, it was terrible. Like both women were getting death threats from like people from the different countries.
Oh my
yeah. And I mean, ultimately Miss Philippines was the right winner. She was the one who was meant to be the winner, but they literally put the crown on Miss Columbia's head. They put the sash on her. She's waving the Colombian flag. She thinks she's Miss Universe. Colombian people are going crazy. And then Steve Harvey comes out. Former Miss Universe literally takes the crown off of her head. And of course, well, I shouldn't say of course, you guys don't know this. The Miss Universe going out was also from Colombia. So it's a huge deal. That would have been the second time ever that a back-to-back happened. So they were thinking Colombia's crowning Colombia. No. And so Miss Colombia had to take the crown off the Miss Colombia's head and put it on Miss Philippines. And
oh my God.
yeah, it's just terrible. It's sad. It was sad. It was sad.
That is sad. And that would be, oh my God.
Oh, horrible.
Heartbreaking.
But you go from like here to here.
But that girl, I can't even remember her name right now, but she became more famous than most Miss Universes. She was in a movie. I think she was in like one of the Fast and Furious or something. Yeah,
Good
she
for
did
her.
very well. So,
Probably on every talk show just to
Oh,
talk about the
absolutely.
experience.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, that's pretty much what most people probably remember of
Mhm.
those two. You're right.
Mhm.
That's so great. So how did you even get started? Like,
Mhm.
what got you on that path?
When I was 16, Facebook was becoming the social media of the time. I was scrolling Facebook, probably uploading 40 pictures of my, 16-year-old birthday bash or something outrageous. And I saw an ad for Miss Teen Saskatchewan. And I didn't really know anything about pageants. I had never watched Miss Congeniality. And it seemed very interesting. It seemed intriguing, something new, different that I'd never done before. And we had actually just lost our home to a house fire about 3 weeks before that. And so the Red Cross had helped us out quite a bit. The Red Cross helped us get back on our feet. And this ad on Facebook for Miss Teen Saskatchewan said something like, become a leader in your community, give back to charities and organizations that are important to you. So I thought, wow, what a great way to potentially give back to the Red Cross. I entered this pageant, had no idea what I was doing. I bought like a $150 dress from a shop in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. Shout out to Moose Jaw. And I showed up and I ended up winning. And I went on to win Miss Teen Canada World. I placed second runner-up at Miss Teen World. And then I got to speak in front of 16,000 people at the We Days, which I don't even know if I should say we anymore because that was, of course, a We charity. But it was a great thing at the time.
Yeah.
I traveled to Kenya, Africa, and helped build a school with Free the Children. And so, yeah, I had all these amazing opportunities at 16 years old, being in high school, traveling every weekend. Like, I literally traveled across the country and was doing homework on planes. And so, anyway, so that kind of showed me the opportunities in this space. And so I later went for Miss Universe Canada, and I actually competed twice. First in 2013, right. I didn't win. I then represented Canada at a pageant called Miss Supranational held in Poland. I placed as first runner-up there, which was great, exciting. But it was an interesting pageant, but I definitely was fortunate that I didn't win just because the organization didn't want to represent what they were about. It was a bit more of maybe what people would expect of pageants, kind of like slimy behind the scenes.
Really?
Stuff. Yeah, and not even, I shouldn't say slimy, but they just treated us quite poorly, to be honest. It wasn't something I would have wanted to represent.
Right.
But it was a good opportunity, and I learned a lot, got to travel, and then I went for Miss Universe Canada again in 2016, went to Miss Universe. So that's kind of the shortest version, I guess,
that's
of
so cool.
I guess I competed in 8 pageants in my pageant career.
But you've done so
and
well.
Facebook ads do work. They've been working for a long time now.
Good old Facebook. Yeah.
That is amazing. One of the things that you brought up that I'm just very curious about is you mentioned the supranational one. You know, you didn't kind of love that organization. What does like the Miss Teen Canada organization represent, or what is that?
Basically about allowing young women to have a platform. So basically, here's this platform, what do you want to do with it? And for me, it was all about the Red Cross, helping people who faced disasters, whether that's flood, fire, anything that's taken their home or belongings. And other women, they stand for body confidence, self-esteem, bullying, basically anything that's kind of impacted them. Typically, there's been a lot of women who their families been impacted by cancer, and so they stand for the different cancer platforms. So there's just all kinds of different things that they allow young women to basically have a voice or feel like they have a voice and just really step into their own and kind of gain that self-confidence and I guess learn kind of who they are as well, because it's crazy sometimes when I ask people these different questions of like, why do you want to win? Or who are you? And people, like, most of us don't really think about those things. Like, who am I really? Like, how would I describe myself? I guess kind of typical interview questions, but I think it just takes it a few steps further.
Totally. It's nice to hear you talk about that and what a platform it gives you and kind of that opportunity to give back to the community and have such an impact. Because, you know, I think sometimes when we think of pageants, you think of just like literally a beauty pageant.
What is that?
I know, I can hear something.
Is it rude?
No.
Or is it?
It's almost like interference.
Like a squeak.
Like a mouse. Talking mouse.
Do you want me to keep talking?
Yeah.
Just like something moving? Is it my mic?
No.
Am I doing something?
I don't think so.
I've never heard
Was
that.
it bubbles?
I wish.
A what?
Bubbles, like.
Oh, of the drink?
Yeah, it's carbonated.
Why would the bubbles make a squeaking sound?
It's not a squeak. It sounded like a.
I was hearing it as a squeak. So I'm going to go back into this.
Okay.
We'll edit that out.
It's so nice to hear that side of pageants because you do kind of sometimes associate them with just like beauty pageants. So even like terribly, I think sometimes of Donald Trump or like,
for sure.
Always.
or, and it not really having kind of that substance behind it and that impact. So it's really nice to hear you talk about that. And I imagine, is it the same for Miss Universe, but just a much bigger platform?
Definitely. And Miss Universe now, it has shifted so much. Donald Trump, he gave up his ownership in end of 2014. So 2015 was the first year that IMG owned it. So the Donald Trump era was very much about the women being models, if you will.
Right.
So it's kind of like, yeah, I know, exactly, shocking. And so now they really emphasize now the platform and the women's voices. And so if you watch Miss Universe from say 2005 and then you watch Miss Universe 2019, you hear the girls so much more. So you hear them speaking, I would say at least 5 times as much. So they'll do like an opening statement. They're asked multiple questions. There's more videos. Whereas years prior, they had longer swimsuit walks, longer gown walks. Yeah, you saw more photos of them. You know, it was more about the appearance. And so it is understandable that people think it's all surface. And there still is a surface side to it. Like it's still, there's gowns, there's a swimsuit, so there still is a show.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just so much behind the scenes that people don't see. And unless you know somebody in it, like why would you know, right?
Right.
So if you watch the show now, it for sure, you see more. And the winner this past year, we actually went to Miss Universe in Atlanta, Georgia. We took Lily. She was like, how old was she at the time? Like 9 months old. So she went to Miss Universe. She was like napping in the carrier. Yeah, I was like, this little girl has seen like a Miss Universe be crowned. Like, what the hell? But anyways, we were there, and the winner this past year, she's from South Africa, and she has very short hair, like, you know, like this, like a few inches, I don't know. And she was the first Miss Universe to ever win with short hair, like not like a bob, like short hair. And her answers that she gave in the onstage question answer were absolutely incredible. She said things like, women need to take up more space, and women are the most powerful beings on the planet. She just had all these incredible answers that were just so amazing and moving. And right after that, I mean, Oprah was tweeting about her, and so many incredible world leaders. So
what is the training process like for this? Because I'm thinking you're going out in a bathing suit, you're going out in a gown, you're also having to mentally prepare to present yourself and speak. There must be a lot of coaching and things that go into being on stage.
There's definitely a lot involved. I think for me, because I started as a teen and I slowly got into the upper levels, I actually never coach for those things, because I guess some of those teen experiences were like coaching, with like I was just forced into it.
You
not forced,
you
but
had done it.
I had the experience. Whereas I'm working with a lot of girls competing for Miss Universe Canada, Miss Universe Iceland, and for them, I work with them on developing basically not who they are, but giving them an understanding of who they are and helping them answer these questions and be able to go into the interview on stage question answer feeling totally comfortable and confident with who they are, because that's probably the hardest thing. Is when people ask you questions and you start saying something and you're like, wait, do I sound stupid or do I sound? I think that's the biggest thing, is getting over those hurdles of feeling comfortable and confident in what you're saying, who you are, and all of that. So yeah, the training, it depends on how many pageants you've done. If you feel like you need training, the walking is huge. I had someone help me with walking.
I saw your video walking, you and your brother the other day.
Oh my gosh.
Which I loved. I'm like, this is amazing.
That is so, actually, yeah, I was sending a video to her. I was trying to show her like an arm thing, and then Layton stepped in on the scene, my brother. So yeah, he was showing us his best pageant walk.
I think you're going to have to give us a lesson after. We'll have to share that on Instagram.
In the studio.
I'm probably a terrible walker with heels.
We're too short, I feel.
Okay, well, first of all,
would you have to be a certain height requirement?
No, so there used to be, some national competitions had a height requirement. Now they're pretty much all doing away with it.
Okay.
More inclusive.
Totally, more inclusive. Yeah, and actually, Miss Universe, she would have been 2017 from South Africa. I think she was 5'5", maybe 5'6".
There's
I'm at 5'3".
Okay,
I feel like I'm not getting there.
Yeah, but I remember so many people doubted her because of her height, and I was like, oh my gosh, she's gonna win. Like, she was the one to beat, in my opinion. She won. And so yeah, height shouldn't be an issue. I don't understand. Like, it doesn't make sense. Anyway.
You know what? I love being a short human, and most people are taller than me. But I do think everyone's the same height as me. And, you know, power to us all. Whether you're tall, small,
We love
we're
you.
gonna love it. I love you. Come hang out with me.
Sarah will make you feel extra tall too.
So I'm loving this because I have so many questions. I feel like my childhood princess self is getting to like ask all her questions. What is a pageant like? So you show up, you guys all show up at a venue. What is that experience like from start to finish? It happens over a couple days, is that right?
Okay, so they're all different, but I'll give you the two examples. They're stark examples. Miss Universe Canada is 1 week long.
Okay.
And yeah, that actually is, fairly long. And that also is because they want to give the women an opportunity to really let themselves shine and get to know each other and form kind of better relationships as well, rather than it just being this like 2-day thing. So over the 1 week, there's different interviews. You interview with the judges, and there's also extensive rehearsals and all this stuff that like really tests your limits. Like, you wear heels all the time, you're tired and all this stuff. So when you get to the final show, you've kind of been through all this stuff, and it's like, who can like last? Like, who can really survive this? Because it's a lot. And then if you win, of course, I mean, then it's a year of a lot. And so that's 1 week, and you all show up. You go through registration, you get your package, like your little itinerary, all that kind of stuff. And then, of course, this year will be different with COVID, but typically for Miss Universe Canada, you go to the CN Tower, you go to a baseball game, like you do all the kind of Toronto things along with a bunch of rehearsals. And then there's a preliminary competition where all the girls come out in gown, they all come out in swimsuit, you do preliminary interviews with the judges, and then it's the final show, which if you've seen Miss Congeniality or any pageant, that's basically what it is. They all come out on stage. It's a big show. Everyone's oohing and awing and clapping. They cut down the girls from 20 to 10 to 5. On stage question and answer, and then you have a winner.
Oh. And you are preparing. How long are you preparing to go? Like, when you went in 2013 and 2016, how long did you prepare for those pageants?
Prior to the national, I can't even tell you how, like months for sure. And I think it again, it's like everyone's goals are so different. Like, some women will prepare a whole year in advance. They want to be X body type. They want to have this perfect gown. I was very like, I just kind of like went with it. And looking back, I'm like, wow, the person I am now, like being more prepared with things, I just really went without a lot of preparation, which maybe was a benefit to me because I was more just in it for like the experience, and I just wanted to make the most of it, and I wasn't super meticulous with like all the planning. But then Miss Universe, on the other hand, I mean, that's a whole other thing. That's 3 weeks long. It was held in the Philippines when I competed, and that was insane. So the Philippines, as I mentioned, is a huge pageant country. So imagine this: I'm flying to the Philippines. I flew from Regina, Saskatchewan to Vancouver, 13-hour flight to Manila, and I'm on the plane. I'm like in economy and sitting between all these people. Yeah, oh dear God, economy. But is what I'm getting as I had people on either side of me. And I'm trying to like do my makeup and like on this 13-hour flight because I just knew I had to be prepared
as soon as you got there.
As soon as I got there, and I'm sitting there in like my mucklucks, those like boots, you know what I'm talking about, wearing this like winter jacket kind of thing. I have like a full face of makeup. My hair's okay. I don't even know. I can't really see besides this little shitty mirror that I have. And on the like overhead speaker, they're like, Siera Bearchell, and then whoever was Miss British Virgin Islands, can you please like disembark, or whatever word that they use. So we had to get off. So I'm literally in like going from the airplane into the airport, like taking my mucklucks off, putting heels on, because I just knew what was going to happen. So we go down the escalator, and we are met with literally like it was like paparazzi, like cameras everywhere, like flashing, people like yelling at you with mics, like, how does it feel to be in the Philippines? And Filipinos are very, very, very passionate about pageants. For them, it's basically basketball, Manny Pacquiao, and pageantry. So there it is so intense. Like before I even got there, people knew my name, they knew where I was from. And so it's crazy. So then they like escorted me. They told me that my luggage would be coming. I didn't even really go through like a customs or anything. They loaded me into this car. It was like this prestigious thing. We went to, it's called Conrad, Manila. Conrad's like a chain of these wonderful hotels. And when we got there, it was just like we felt like celebrities, basically. Like Yeah.
Well, this is what I was thinking. It's like you're not used to this, like,
no.
and then
I'm
all of a sudden,
picturing you in your
everyone,
box and the winter coat being like, Canada's here. I'm here.
and
I should have. Truly.
everyone knowing your name is such like a weird feeling. It must be. Oh my
It
god!
was so strange.
What did your family think about you kind of getting involved in this world, going across the world and having that platform? Were they for it, against it?
They were pretty neutral overall. Like, they were there to support me. They were excited for me. They didn't come to the Philippines, which was fun. I mean, very expensive to try to go there. They've always been very supportive, but they weren't really any which way. They weren't against it. They weren't pushing for it. They just were supportive.
That's nice.
Yeah, it was nice. Honestly, yeah, I was always very fortunate because there were definitely always women who had the stage mom who's there,
That's what I'm thinking.
Right.
texting, calling, how's this girl? Like, yeah.
I'd be like that for you, Ash. You're our hope. You're 5'5", aren't you?
Yeah, not gonna happen. Oh, Siera, keep that light shining.
Yeah, sure.
You'll win Miss Rivaling Queen 2020.
There you go.
Podcast award.
So we are going to talk more about Miss Universe because you had a very unique experience there. But before we do that, I want to dive a bit more into the pageant experience.
Yes.
When I know Ashley's got some really fun questions, I'm going to save those for her. But I want to know, when you're in interviews with these judges, like, what are the questions they're asking you?
They'll ask you everything from why do you want to win Miss Universe to, I remember Miss Universe Canada 2013, one of the male judges, he asked me if I was single. But his tactic, he was trying to throw people off, I think, for them to feel like, oh my God, I'm not prepared for this question. Do I say I'm single? Because do they think if I'm in a relationship, are they going to think I'm not ready to carry the title because I'm distracted? So I think he had this tactic that he was trying to work with. But overall, they want to know who you are, why you're there, what you'll do with the title if you are to win. So at Miss Universe, very much so, if you win Miss Universe, what do you plan on doing with the title? Are you prepared to handle the pressure that comes with being Miss Universe? Are you prepared to travel multiple times a week? Of course, not in COVID times, but in normal times.
Yeah.
All of that kind of stuff. They just want to know who you are, why you're there, and if you deserve to win, if you can carry that title.
Crazy. Ashley, you've got some.
Do I?
Okay, well then I'm going to ask them because
No,
you
like,
wrote
do
them.
I have these funny questions?
I think they're great questions. How do you pick a gown? We want to know how you pick a gown and how you pick a bathing suit. And
That's
like,
true.
walk us through it. And like shoes, I guess, because you have to be able to walk in them.
What color was your gown?
So my gown at Miss Universe Canada was like a royal blue. But you know what? I know it was actually very beautiful. But once again, I bought it for like $350 US at like Nordstrom or something. And these other girls, like, they're getting custom gowns made in Europe for like,
of course,
$4,000. And so looking back, I'm like, would I have done that with like now knowing, like, I know so much more about pageants now than even when I competed, because on YouTube, I do all like pageant related videos. I've been to multiple Miss Universes now as a spectator.
Right.
So I feel like now I'm so much more well versed, as funny as that is.
Yeah.
Even though I was a competitor. But how most women would pick a gown is they would do a lot of perusing on social media, and then they would either order one, get it custom made, or they would just order like from an online shop. Yeah, I picked mine up at Nordstrom, and then at Miss Universe I wore white. That wasn't my top. It was actually a very interesting situation where my director basically dropped off. I shouldn't say basically. He dropped off a suitcase at our hotel in the Philippines with 6 gowns, and that was what I had to pick from.
So did he do that for every girl? Like
So other girls, this is what typically happens is months prior to Miss Universe.
Right.
You have gown fittings. You have multiple gowns to pick from, because once you win a national title, you've earned your right to represent your country at Miss Universe. But Canada is such a small pageant country in the sense that we don't really give a shit about pageants.
Right.
And so we just don't really have like designers here who would care to do that.
We're going to design gowns for you. Okay.
And looking back, what I would have done is on my Instagram, I would have said something like, I'm looking for a gown, and there's a ton of different Filipino there would have been a ton of different designers who were there in the Philippines watching. They had their gowns. Of course, they, as designers who work kind of more in that gown couture, they want their gowns on the Miss Universe stage. So the designer that I had, he actually, I'll have to show you guys photos. The gown that I wore at Miss Universe, it was fine, but like it was actually too big for me, so it actually made me look a bit larger than I was, which is, whatever. But he also designed my wedding dress, which is like the polar opposite type of gown. It was very like sexy.
I've seen your wedding dress. It is
I have not.
fabulous.
I need
You
to see
are, well, first of all, everyone listening, Siera's obviously a super babe.
Oh,
It's very true. And yeah, do you know what? I saw your wedding gown years ago because I know your husband. We went to university together, and I was like, damn,
Oh,
who
man.
the hell did Brett marry? She's a babe.
He did well. He did
I was
well.
trying to find it. Oh, I thought I had screenshots. Well, here's like the top.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god.
But it was in Vegas too, so keep in mind Vegas.
At first, I thought that was
boobs,
your
legs.
wedding dress when you first.
This is my wedding dress.
Yes.
Stop!
Oh, that's your wedding.
No, I don't mean that in that way.
Oh,
but
no,
I'm
no,
like,
no.
that's too, like, it's
Yeah.
too
Oh, here.
beautiful.
Here. This.
Okay,
You
as soon
look
as you say
fabulous.
Vegas now, I'm like, this is
It was
Vegas.
at the Bellagio. So that's the thing is, if that was
Your
in like
hair is
Halifax,
so long.
I know it's so
Oh
long.
my god, I did not look like that. on my
Anyway,
wedding
she
day.
looked
I'm
like,
so
oh,
jealous.
listen, if you want to see the hottest woman of your life,
Like, okay, let me just paint the visual in case you're not watching the YouTube. Is it's gold? It's
Oh
beautiful.
wait, should I like
with
show the
beading.
screen?
Oh, yeah, show it. And like low cut.
Well, here's Brennan. Oh, he looks so cute.
He does look lovely there. You
You
guys
guys,
look
like,
fabulous.
And
Yeah, it's a lot of boobs.
So this was like your custom design gown,
Yeah.
but what you're telling us is this was
Yeah.
not the Miss
this
Universe
was not the
process.
Miss Universe gown. Okay, is this like
Oh.
people see this?
Yeah,
Okay.
people, and we're gonna post it
Um,
everywhere.
Okay, great.
People
So then
love it.
I'll show you the
They'd
Miss
love to
Universe
see
gown. Okay, here's the Miss Universe gown. Oh, do you like it? I don't like it.
But it's very
It's
okay.
more like, I don't know.
but that to me is like the epitome of
Is that what you?
yeah, like I don't know. Or
But
sometimes
isn't this
they're
more
a little
like
more
pageant
like
patty kind of like?
It definitely
you
is
know
more
what I
pageant
mean?
patty because here, for everyone listening, Siera's wedding dress is like super low cut, a lot of
gorgeous.
cleavage. She looks beautiful, but the pageant gown is like a higher cut and mermaid.
yeah.
But like it's more fluffy. Like I'm picturing more of that princess look for
Yeah.
the pageants a little bit.
What are they judging on? Like, is it how the dress fits you? What color it is? What style it is? Who's the designer? I feel like
No.
it's just so.
It's honestly, it's all like this is so cliche, but it's so true. It's all in the woman and how confident she is, honest to goodness. Because there were women who competed at Miss Universe Canada with me with $10,000 dresses. There I am in my Nordstrom number. It honestly doesn't matter, like how you carry yourself, the way you walk as well. Because I mean, you could have like this incredible gown, have confidence
Right.
and walking
With your shoulders
yeah,
slumped.
right, mhm.
eyes down.
and it doesn't. And that I mean, you'll just never advance.
Right.
And then you can have the most confident walk in the room and be loving every moment and have a gown that isn't as extravagant, isn't as amazing in terms of designer quality and end up being the winner. So
That's actually really kind of nice to hear.
for life too, right? Like you
Yes.
see people all the time, like the way that we're dressed, like, yeah, I don't know, people judge us surface all the time in normal life. And it's just how we carry ourselves.
I feel like that gets so much easier with age. Now I know, like,
Mhm.
I have my leather coat on. If I just put my leather jacket on and or
It's
like
like
something in my
armor.
sneakers, I'm like,
yeah.
I feel so good. So I feel like it makes you feel so much more confident. Obviously, when you feel good.
Yeah.
You feel good in your outfit. So okay, wait. So back to this dress.
Rewind.
You end up in the white dress, which was not the custom designed wedding dress, which was
Would
10
have
out
been
of
so
10.
much better.
But
Yes,
why
that
were
is a
dresses?
stunning dress.
Why did the director drop dresses off at your
It's-
hotel room?
So it's such a long story, but the short version is that my director, the entire time from winning Miss Universe Canada is June 2016 to January 2017 in the Philippines. That's when Miss Universe was, January 2017. He was telling me, ready for you. We're going to have it all in the Philippines for you. Everything's going to be custom made, blah, blah, blah. He's in Toronto. I'm in Saskatchewan. So I just went with it. I was like, okay, he's going to have it all ready. And I had the gut feeling that he
Something
wasn't
was
going to
wrong.
have everything. But at the same time, I didn't know how much I could say and how demanding I could be because I thought he could just send a different girl if he wants, right? So I feel like women, that's the one really bad thing about pageants, in my opinion, is you're in this vulnerable position that you feel like you need to just go with what they say, even if it doesn't feel right. Not necessarily in like feeling threatened by people, but more in how they're preparing you. Like, this is like the biggest opportunity of your life, right?
So you have a director,
Yeah.
like a Miss Canada pageant director who manages your experience at Miss Universe. Is that what you're?
Yeah.
Okay.
National directors.
So you trust that, like you feel. Have
Yeah,
faith
like you
in what
feel
they're
like you
telling
should trust them because they've put several women before you through
Right.
this. They, they should know what they're doing. So when I got to Miss Universe, like when I was flying Miss Universe, I didn't have any gowns with me because I was told that I would have gowns there for me.
And they pick them for you?
Yeah, they basically just picked them. And that's the thing too, is like,
So you don't pick them.
I mean, and you should be able to though. And like looking back, you know, there's different winners now I know about. There's a girl who won Miss Universe 2018 from the Philippines. She basically like did away with the whole team that was provided for her and was like, I'm gonna do it my way. This is the team I'm gonna have. This is how I envision representing myself and my country at Miss Universe. And I didn't know that you could really do that. Like,
Totally.
I took the experience into my own hands once I got there in terms of like what I was doing with the platform.
Mhm.
But I didn't know that I could on my social just be like, hey, is there any designers here in the Philippines that could even, you know, provide a gown for me? They're there, like they would have sewn it to fit me, like they would have done all that, but I didn't know I could do that because I just didn't know. I thought, okay,
Yeah.
am I allowed? Like, is my direct, like I just didn't know. And looking back, 1,000% I would have done that, but I just kind of went with it. So I didn't know.
No.
And how would you? Yeah, but
That's so crazy.
People are listening to this now. Now they know.
oh yeah,
If you're thinking about entering,
So you
Sierra.
just got dresses dropped off to you, and then you had to pick from that selection for your big Miss Universe
yeah.
competition.
Yeah, and I've heard, and so like I said, the designer who did like the wedding dress did that dress as well. So he's capable of, you know, doing such incredible work. It just, the way it was, like I don't think he even really knew like who the dress was for. He just gave it, I think, to my director. I don't even know how it happened, to be honest. But like, it wasn't made like for me, measured to me, nothing. But yeah, it's just such a weird thing. So that designer, does incredible work. I actually just did a video with him for my channel, and he does such amazing things. And I'm like, if him and I would have been in contact with each other prior,
Right.
we could have designed something so amazing, fit perfectly, so that when I look back at the pictures as well, I would have been more like, yes, that's
What a badass babe I am.
So that's why too I kind of went a little more all out for the wedding dress,
like the Vegas dress,
which actually, funny enough, I mean, you guys probably don't know this, but when I competed at Miss Universe, it was January 2017 in the Philippines. Brennan and I met 3 weeks later here in Halifax, or no, in Saskatchewan, and then I came to Halifax, and then Miss Universe 2017 happened in November of 2017, so 10 months later, and that's when we got married.
Oh my god!
In Vegas.
Well,
So we got married. The pictures I sent you is when we got married, and then we went for brunch, and then we took our moms to Miss Universe to watch Miss Universe 2017.
oh my god, that's so cute.
It was so funny. Yeah, we had never lived together. We were crazy. Like, it's like, what the,
And now
I
you're
love
married.
it.
You're
yeah.
good.
And now it's all good. Yeah, it's great.
But this is you, because evidently you just saw a Facebook ad. You were Miss Teen Canada, and you just met
There's
Brendan,
my
and you were like,
husband.
we're
Here we
together.
go.
I love it. That's
He
so
actually
good.
messaged me on Facebook, so I guess, yeah, Facebook ad.
Face 2.0.
My husband and I met over social media.
There
And
you
this is
go.
where I try and tell Sarah that she kind of like turns her nose up at
Guys.
online dating. I'm like, listen, everyone meets via social media. That's a whole nother
Oh,
topic.
well, Ashley, now we know that 10 months from now I could be married. So just
Yeah.
everyone relax.
If you're
That's right.
listening to this, let us know. You can write
Thank you.
Sarah on Facebook.
Maybe Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram, not Facebook, for the love of God. Okay, so what about your bathing suits? Did you get to pick those?
Right. Sorry, I totally
No.
went on a tangent there. The bathing suits are usually provided just so that the women are somewhat consistent. It's such a weird thing, but they do provide different styles so that you can pick a style
Okay.
that you're comfortable in. And it depends. Like for Miss Universe Canada, they'll usually do a photo shoot where you can pick your own swimsuit, you bring your own swimsuit. But they do provide, just so as well for the show, that it's a little more consistent.
Right.
Because the gown is different. Like the gown's more showcasing you, whereas a swimsuit, it's more like they look at the walk and the confidence, and like they're not really like examining the swimsuit and what the design is. So yeah, the swimsuit is usually provided.
Okay. And then you're not getting a bunch of weird colors.
Right. But yeah, and sometimes when they do actually have patterns, even if it's all one pattern, it just doesn't look as good.
Mhm.
Right.
And yours was hot pink.
Yeah.
Was it? Because I remember we talked to you before to Google it.
Oh, yeah, it was hot pink.
I love that.
I love hot pink.
Yeah,
And
I love
it's
it
a
too.
great choice.
This is such an interesting, this
This
is,
is a weird conversation that's going all over the place.
no, but it's not, because we've just learned what a pageant is and your experience behind the scenes. Because I think in our minds, you're controlling all of this. And like, and so it's really interesting to hear about your experience with it. And even that Miss Universe goes for 3 weeks. I really didn't know that.
No, I would think it was like 2 days. Because on
Oh,
TV,
really?
obviously, they just like
Yeah.
compress everything into one night
Yeah.
show.
Yeah. Well, this past year in Atlanta, Georgia, I think it was only about 10, 11 days, which is like shockingly short. It's just like, how many things can you do in Atlanta, Georgia? Like, no offense to Atlanta. It's just that like, there's not like beaches to like,
Right.
how much content can you capture of these women?
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So.
Yeah. I want to take this conversation kind of in a different direction, because you have, through your experiences in pageants, built a lot of opportunities for yourself. And I think, you know, when we had our initial phone call, you talked about from the Miss Teen stage, like, yeah, you got to travel the world for the year. And that's super cool coming from Moose Jaw. Like, maybe you weren't expecting to be in Kenya later that year and things like that. But beyond that year, when you were Miss Teen Canada, you did turn that into other opportunities. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, I just made the most of it, I guess, as like for the Miss Teen. But I think it was maybe more later on that I maybe turned things into different opportunities, in that I eventually went to law school, so like I'm a law school graduate, which seems so funny.
Nice.
People always, when they know that I'm involved in the pageant world, they're shocked to find out that I was in law school, because apparently beauty and brains can't
So
go
they
together.
just can't put that together.
They, you know, just can't combine for whatever reason. And then when people know me from law school, they're just floored that I would ever step foot on a pageant stage. Like, what? But anyways, so it was more in the Miss Universe era, if you will, that I kind of turned it into something more that is with my life more today, that I do day to day. And when I was going from Miss Universe Canada to Miss Universe, I really wanted to represent who I was. And what I mean by that is, when I competed at Miss Supranational and at Miss Universe Canada the first time, I really tried to be what I thought they wanted me to be. And what I believed that they wanted was a woman who was as skinny as possible, because that's what I saw as the pageant norm. So I lost like 10, 15 pounds. And at the time I was, you know, already quite slender. And I really tried to be what I thought they wanted me to be. So when I went to Miss Universe Canada in 2016, I was determined to just be myself. I was maybe curvier than the other girls, but I was, you know, size 6. And I just wanted to really show women that you can be yourself and you can feel comfortable in your own skin and potentially find success. Like, I was hoping to win, but you never know what can happen. And so I did win. And I thought, wow, I won feeling comfortable in myself. I just ran a marathon, a half marathon. Like, I was, you know, fit for myself. Anyways, moving on from Miss Universe Canada to Miss Universe, the number one thing that I was told from my directorship was that I had everything it took to win Miss Universe, but I didn't have the Miss Universe body. And that the only thing I had to fix was my body, and that my body was essentially the problem. That was the thing I needed to fix.
Can I just ask a question here? Just like for context. So in 2016, when you were doing this, like, how tall are you, first of all?
I'm 5'8".
So you're 5'8". So you're a bit taller than average. And then what was your weight?
I was probably around like 135 pounds.
Right. So you weighed
you
less.
You can see my abs. I don't think you can see them anymore, but yeah, it's just.
But like
But the
very
context
honestly,
of that is, that's much lower than.
I'm 5'3" and I weigh more than 135, and so you were a fit human.
Yeah, and
and felt good.
Yeah, it felt good.
Running.
Yeah, and they kept telling me things like, you know, you need to work on your fitness. And what they were really saying is you need to lose weight. And so I just grew so frustrated. And I probably was about, I would say 8 to 10 pounds more at Miss Universe than I was at Miss Universe Canada. And I mean, all you have to do is look at pictures from each pageant to see that. And like, I knew that. It's not that I thought it wasn't a mystery to me. But part of that was because I've just become so defeated that I felt like I run because I love to run. I do yoga because I love to do yoga. But all of that has become not good enough in their eyes. And so I just felt so defeated that there were moments I didn't even want to go to Miss Universe, because I was like, how can I represent these, like, their ideal when I can't be their ideal? Like, I know what I want to represent and what I feel like I want to show other young women. But if they're constantly telling me that that's not good enough, that I'm not good enough, how can I represent that at this international stage? And so I almost didn't go several times. I was in contact with the Miss Universe organization and said, like, as much as this is my dream, I want to go, I don't know if I can, with basically them in my ear telling me how to be, what to look like and everything, especially when I just didn't believe in that. And I felt like Miss Universe had moved beyond that. And
did you make that known?
Yeah.
That was the reason that you felt more hesitant. And how did they perceive that?
Miss Universe organization was really good about it, and they acted like that they wanted me. They were welcoming me with open arms. They wanted to have me there. And they actually, prior to this happening, they had sent the Miss Universe crew, the Miss Universe film crew, to Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan in like beginning of December. So they had just come from Colombia, and then they came to film like footage of me, and they had never sent a crew to Canada before. So that was so cool. But I was like, I kind of felt bad. I'm like, here we are in like Saskatoon, Moose Jaw, like filming in the prairies. But they obviously saw potential in me. I would like to hope that they sent this crew to like capture me at school. We were in the law library and stuff. And so if you see footage of me like shooting a puck with the Moose Jaw Warriors, which is so funny because Brennan used to play for Moose Jaw.
Yes.
Like, I've never shot a puck in my life. And people are like, you play hockey? I'm like, yeah.
Everyone in Canada plays hockey.
I was like skating around, like I can't even stop.
I love this.
Yeah, if you see the footage, it's actually kind of funny because they make it look like I'm like super badass. But anyways, so when I was on my way to Miss Universe, I just knew I was going to be met with criticism. I knew people were going to call me names, but it really escalated quickly. And on my way to Miss Universe, I think I had around 10,000 followers on Instagram. And this is just to give context. I started sharing messages of like, love yourself for who you are. Like, don't allow the opinions of others to hold you back from chasing your dreams, things like that, which I still share today.
Yeah.
And when I was leaving the Philippines after placing top 9, after like different places sharing my posts and stuff, I had 100,000 followers. So
What?
yeah,
In
I was
3
verified.
weeks.
Yeah, like
Oh
it was
my
insane.
gosh.
And like Time, Vogue, Cosmo, Elle, like all these different news networks, magazines were sharing my posts, sharing my stories. They were wanting to call me and do like Skype interviews, not Zoom at the time. And it was just crazy. And so I without trying, like for me just trying to stand up for myself, it really turned into something greater, and me being able to show people that you can be yourself, love yourself. And up to that point, like a curvy girl, which I still feel weird saying curvy because I'm like, I feel normal. I don't know.
First of all,
when I saw your legs when you came out, I was like, she has beautiful
long
legs.
Oh my god,
You're
you're so cute.
You're beautiful and you're so fit, and it's absurd.
Well, no, and
But I mean, if the vision for what they have is this perfection of whatever, how it's like not achievable, really.
But
You know what I mean?
here's my question. So you had your Team Canada, your team telling you that you were too big going to this, to Miss Universe, but you went anyways because Miss Universe wanted you there, which is exciting that you did that. But what happened when you arrived? Because you're saying like Vogue wanted to talk to all these groups.
Yeah,
so
sorry, that was a little confusing.
No, it not confusing at all, but like, what was the experience? Like, you got on stage, you are like radiant, this beautiful woman. What happened?
So when I got there and started sharing posts and what have you, like, I mean, you guys can see my posts. People were calling me like fat whale, Miss Queen Piggy, Miss Piggy Universe. I was getting death threats, like
What?
people, and people also saying things like you don't deserve a place anywhere, let alone a Miss Universe. Like, you should kill yourself. Yeah,
People are
like,
so crazy.
yeah, it is like, it was cutthroat. And so fortunately, up to that point, I was just like, fuck this, like I am gonna be myself, and like at these people, like this is the ultimate pageant stage, I'm meant to be here. And so I just really like, I talk to my parents every day. Start talking to Brennan. Just kidding. No, I barely did.
Brennan, we love
the
you.
Facebook message came in, and then we were like chatting, but it wasn't anything crazy. He wasn't, in the support zone yet, but
He was trying.
He was trying to get in there. But I just couldn't really believe that people felt like they could say these things to some, and like people would share these posts of me and like Photoshop them so I look like bigger than I was, and then they would Photoshop previous photos of me from the previous pageants I competed in and make them look like I was skinnier. So it was like very extreme, like the differences
Like the
in my body. Oh, totally. Like I felt like I was like Jessica Simpson on the cover of like something, because and it was just next level. Like the amount of times that people say, or fat, I think is it pig in Spanish is gordita or something like that, or maybe that, I don't know.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's fat. I don't know. But people were calling me that like over and over again. I saw it countlessly, like thousands of comments, and I just thought to myself, you know what? These people aren't used to seeing somebody who is maybe not a size 0, not a size 2, step onto the Miss Universe platform, step onto the Miss Universe stage with confidence, and then eventually place. So people are uncomfortable with change, right? And seeing something different. And so I think that that's one of the biggest things. It doesn't excuse people for calling me all these kinds of names, but I just knew as well, like if I fall under their pressure, if I ignore the haters and carry on as if this isn't happening, I feel like I'm giving them what they wanted, whereas I just wanted to stand up for myself, stand up for anyone else who had ever felt like they weren't welcomed. And I received a lot of messages too from people saying things like, you know, if they're saying this about you, what would they say about me, my daughter?
What would
my
they say
granddaughter?
about me? Like, honestly.
Yeah, it's so. And how old were you? Sorry, at this point.
I was 22. I was just
So
22.
still like
turning
super
23.
young, because
Yeah.
this has to really kind of now it's
Tall and slender,
Yeah.
a size 6,
Yeah.
being called Miss
Sarah's
Piggy
mind's
and fat. I just like people. It does blow my mind, because this is what this is like the bad rap that these pageants get, right?
And that's
Like,
what's so sad.
but you've become a spokesperson for pageants in this way, and people, and standing up for yourself. And like you said, you went in 3 weeks from having 10,000 followers to 100,000 because you stood up for yourself and people supported you.
and that message just resonates with everyone so much.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's so crazy because I don't know. I
Well,
can imagine
to call someone
hearing
fat
that, yeah.
who's like a fit young woman is absurd. And also, like, what right do they have to say that to you? Like,
social media, man.
Oh yeah, well, even still, like, I mean, how this 3 years later, I guess, 3.5 years later, people will comment still on like my Instagram or on YouTube, things like, you know, you were a little chubby, but like you were still my favorite. And I was like, oh my god, like,
thank you for that lovely compliment.
Like, backhanded comments.
So what was kind of like the peak of that? Because yeah, so you're on stage in this process and getting these messages, and you're seeing like online people are calling you fat. Like, what the hell? Okay, what went down?
So, I mean, I placed in the top 13 first, which was really exciting, and I was very proud. And then I went on to place in the top 9 after the swimsuit competition. Woo! And I was super proud, and I mean, I felt like a lot of people were proud of me. And one of my favorite things is that I had so many people saying to me, and still say to me, I loved watching that edition of Miss Universe because I felt like I looked up and saw someone that looked like me, somebody that I could actually relate to. And so I thought that was so important without me even thinking of that. Like, I didn't, as much as I was sharing those messages of positivity, I didn't think of it from a spectator perspective of seeing me in the bikini, seeing somebody that wasn't like everybody else. So after that, I, you know, carried on with life, I guess, in a way, but in a whole different way. I was doing a ton of different public speaking events. I spoke at quite a few different Deloitte events. I've been their keynote at the women's breakfast, like in Saskatchewan, which for me was a big deal. And I still did a lot of, I went to a bunch of different places like LA and Boston, like speaking on these different like forums and what have you, all on like confidence, self-esteem, and all that kind of stuff that seems so simple that, yeah, that's just kind of what it turned into. But I can't even actually remember your question. But
no, it's just like this idea of body dysmorphia that comes from this. I
know.
find is so disturbing because and you did mention like at one point, Ashley Graham,
yes,
who's a plus size model, had
It's
heard
so
that
beautiful.
that there was what
happened? So she was the backstage host at Miss Universe that year, and I was so excited to meet her because I had watched her TED Talk like 10 times.
And she's lovely. She's like a lovely human.
Awesome. So I met her there a couple times. I met her the following year at Miss Universe 2017. And she was wonderful. But when I met her, she kind of had this, like, what she thought I was going to be. Like, she thought I was, felt like, I don't want to say fellow plus size model. I don't know, you know, I don't want to offend people. But she thought that I wasn't what I was. And when she looked at me when we first met, she was like, well, what the hell?
Because people had told her that there was a curvier.
Yeah, there's a plus size competitor.
I'm sorry, they said there's a plus size competitor at Miss Universe.
Yeah, and then I had when I was doing some of the interviews.
That's quite a stretch,
for sure. And I've tried to like not use like the term plus size because I'm like, you know, they're all models, whatever. But I guess for people listening to give that idea, I think plus size maybe starts at like size 14, 16, 18. I don't actually know the right start of it or whatever, but just to give people an idea. And I had this woman interviewing me, and she's like, from one plus size woman to another. And like, so she's standing right in front of me. And I was like, what the hell? Like, I think that the thing is that people had this idea in that, and even standing right in front of me, they still weren't really seeing what was in front of them. So even watching me on the Miss Universe stage and in my bikini, so many people still were like, there's the plus size girl, because like that's what they were told, right? And so it's just very interesting. And I think I maybe told you guys this, but right after the show, there was a group of girls, competitors, who did not place, and they had like different snacks and donuts and stuff. And they went on this Instagram live. I think it was an Instagram live, and they were speaking in Spanish, and people were sending it to me, and people translated for me, and they said something like, I heard Miss Canada, like I understood that. They said something like, we're gonna get fat so we can place in the top 13 like Miss Canada.
Oh my God.
What?
I know, it's so sad. And I thought, you know what, I would have been so happy for those women if they would have placed. But
Right.
how terrible to like, yeah. And I mean, in that moment, you know, they were probably sad that they didn't place, and just the fact that here are all these women who are standing on this platform of Miss Universe, knowing it's about inspiring, empowering women, and they're believing that that they believe I didn't deserve to place because of my body alone.
Right.
It's so sad. They don't know what my interview
It's so
actually
sad.
And
is great.
And it must be crazy for someone like, you know, Ashley Graham to hear, oh, there's a plus size competitor, and go and meet you and see you, who is a size 6, like much smaller than her.
Mm-hmm.
And like, she's been such an advocate for modeling and the beauty of women. And then, I mean, and like you said, it's like people are saying these things about you, but they see you and that you are a fit,
Just like the rest of
woman.
them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you find now that, I know you mentioned you do some coaching for
Yeah.
girls that are preparing for Miss Universe or pageants, but do you find that, do you have more that reach out to you because of this, because they know you stand for so much more, you know, just more inclusivity and body positivity
and being yourself.
yeah, and just that probably draws them to you, that you're not going to be like, don't eat this,
Right.
work out more.
Maybe, yeah, I think so. I mean, the girls that I work with seem to really value that. And I'd say the biggest thing probably is all my coverage of the Miss Universe.
Right.
Since I competed on my YouTube channel, we just reached 100K recently, which was sweet. And I didn't even know that.
Congrats.
Yeah, thanks. I didn't even know that was a space that YouTube wanted or needed, was like people talking about pageants. Of course, it's a very niche audience, but I was pregnant when I started really making those videos, and they just seemed to do really well. And so, of course, because of that, I talked a lot about my experience and stuff. And I think since that, I had a lot more women reaching out to me, because not only did they see me compete, but then they've heard all of my opinions and heard me talk about these experiences like I'm talking to you. So rather than them just seeing my posts, seeing me walk on the stage, they've then heard like my actual story. So yeah, I would say that women probably do reach out to me, probably because of that as well, knowing that I'm not going to tell them to eat egg white, spinach, and Diet Coke.
We would
Oh my
never
God.
survive.
No, I don't even. It's terrible.
What I do think is beautiful is like, you've become so iconic from this experience. You have, though, because like, let's be honest, like groups like Vogue and Cosmopolitan and all these groups were reaching out to you for interviews after you did this, because you stood up for yourself when people were bullying you essentially on the stage. And, you know, we're at a time in kind of the world where it's like, we can't keep telling girls that or women there's something wrong with them because they're they have a healthy body.
Right.
And I think that's incredible that you did that. And like, it's amazing that you've been able to channel that into opportunities afterwards to actually keep spreading that message and to have that platform.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, and I think it stemmed into other areas of my life, becoming pregnant, becoming a mother. I realized very quickly how important it is to love the skin we're in, and even just be able to show my daughter that I'm comfortable in my own skin, and that as well, it's okay to have days where we aren't as confident, because it's just going to happen. There's days where we don't feel so good about whether it's our body, our hair, breaking out or something. There's always going to be days that we're not feeling our best selves. But I know my mom is a beautiful, slim woman, and I've heard her over the years, even still, she's in her 50s now, feeling like, oh, I've got to work on this part of my body or something. I'm like, you know what, like that's just such a it's so much wasted energy putting into that, like enjoying life and making the most of life. And I don't know, yeah, it's channeled into different areas of my life more so than I would have ever expected. That's
so beautiful. And I think, the world really wanted to hear that, and it's really, really nice, because you saw how receptive people were to you, and your platform has grown so much since Miss Universe, and it's kind of incredible.
Yeah, I know we perused your YouTube channel there, and congrats again on that 100,000 followers. That's amazing. You can pave the way for us somehow.
Oh yeah, totally. I still don't know what I'm doing. I don't know.
But is that kind of what you're finding you are diving into, is doing a lot of those vlogs and kind of trying to put some messages and stuff about Siera out there into the world? well.
Yeah, I guess so. I think it honestly more so started when I was pregnant, which seems kind of strange, but really the timeline was very short. As I said, I got married 10 months after I competed at Miss Universe, and then would have been pregnant, I guess, the spring following that. And so I think with that, I was, still sharing messages of positivity and what have you, but I had brands reaching out to me saying, we want you to try our product. If you like it, maybe we want to partner with you. And so that's kind of where things started in terms of this becoming more of a career.
Right.
And I just finished law school. And so people all the time say to me, like, are you ever going to use your law degree? I'm like, I use my law degree every single day.
I'm running my own business.
Yeah, I run my own business. I handle contracts. I handle negotiations. I do all this stuff on my own. Like, I don't have a manager. I don't have a team. It's me. And so I use that every day. But from YouTube, I was pregnant and people were wanting me to give a Miss Universe predictions. So I put out this Miss Universe prediction video from Miss Universe 2018. And I didn't really think a lot of it. Like, I knew it'd probably do okay. I didn't have much on my YouTube channel before that, but it reached 100K views within like a couple days. And I was like, oh shit, crazy.
Yeah.
And so I kept covering the pageant. I did like a prelims review, all this different stuff. And it really did well. And people were seeming to also enjoy that I was giving, fair, honest opinions. And that seemed grounded and level-headed. And I know that sounds weird, but there's a lot of pageant reviews out there and they're just like, I don't know, they just are all over I don't know how to explain it, but you can tell that there's like favoritism and all of that, whereas I'm just like laying it on the line, being like, even though I want to support Canada, if I don't think she's going to place, like, I'm not going to put her in my favorites, And so that really did well. And then I was able to start making money on AdSense after I reached like, I think it's 1,000 subscribers and 100,000. I don't even know what the watch time is. And so then from that, mixed with starting to make money with working with brands on Instagram, that just kind of kept going. And then I guess it would have been the following year, we decided to take my daughter to Miss Universe and cover it like live. So we were there at Miss Universe 2019, like seeing the contestants, like giving our review. My brother was with me. He became like this, I guess almost like a character, right? Like,
I feel like you guys could actually have a reality show because your daughter, I don't know your husband, but yeah, I know you and your daughter, I feel like. And your everything I see, and your brother, it's like the perfect mix of personalities and like shenanigans.
There's a lot of
shenanigans. I love that.
So anyway,
you did your brother's makeup on one of the YouTube videos.
I was like, so much fun. He has like beautiful eyes. I was like, this is great. But yeah, so it's really all just become something I never expected, and it's just been so much fun. So we obviously do a lot of pageant stuff. Instagram's more lifestyle,
right,
which is fun. But yeah, not as well. I mean, you guys have probably had this, but with YouTube, it's such a weird space. I don't know.
We're still
it is really weird, but it's nice to see how you've turned this opportunity and your experiences in pageants to like such an educational thing. And I'm going to tell you, I don't watch a lot of YouTube videos, but I watch some of yours. And then also I was like pushed all these like fan videos of yours, and people love you.
I didn't see those.
Yes, and because like even people were talking about other contestants who were not saying nice things about like you said, like just saying that you placed because you were larger, things like that. And these women were like, they had like a lot to say, and they were diehard supporters of you, which was incredible. So this is my only YouTube experience.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, YouTube. It's a different space.
This has been so amazing and so insightful, and I love all your messages and your energy about anything to do with body positivity. We're watching. We hope that anyone listening will also follow along. And where can people find you, Siera?
My Instagram handle is Siera Bearchell, SIERA BEARCHELL, and then YouTube, I think it's just my name as well.
Search.
Okay. We'll have all the links in our show notes as well. So
great.
But before we wrap, we have two questions.
Oh.
Well, no. This is how it goes.
Oh yeah.
First of all, we want to know, number one, what lights you up right now? What are you excited about in life?
Oh my gosh. Honestly, this is going to be like probably lame to you guys, but like just being back in Halifax, and it's been such an amazing experience. It's been awesome. Like, I've actually had just so many people I've ran into that are just so nice and funny enough.
Our neighbors.
Yeah, exactly. And I've had some people who have either followed me on Instagram or YouTube, and I've had that in other places, but there's just this sense of like community in Halifax that makes me really excited. So
We're really happy to
That's
hear
a lovely
that.
answer.
Yeah.
And we're so happy you're here, like, and that you like it here. And, you know, we can't wait to take you out and hang
Oh,
out
I'm
with you.
excited.
It'll be
Yeah,
so
and you're
much
gonna
fun.
be so good for the community to help you doing what you're doing.
Thanks.
All right, here
Wait,
now.
was that the second?
No, that's the first question. The second question is really a fake game that we've
We've
made
made
up.
up a game called Queenie Grams.
So it's a made-up game. It's very easy. All you have to do is pick a number between 1 and 98. We're going to ask you a question, and then Ashley's going to go, and then I'm going to go, and we'll all answer a question. So you're up first. 1 to 99. What number are you feeling?
7.
Ooh, let's see what we got, girl. All right, number 7. Oh my God, I love this. You're going to hate this. What is the price of eggs? Do you know?
$3.99.
Really?
Good. Yeah, I would say
don't know.
$3-4.
I think they're $4.99, but I always
Depends if they're local or
Well,
organic.
or
large.
free run.
Yeah.
I know.
Omega-3 and 6.
So what are you buying? This is why I love this question because I feel like we get on wild tangents.
Sometimes I really go out there and get the $5.99 free run.
Yeah,
But usually
like
I get-
organic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The yolk is brighter.
Yeah, do you buy brown or white eggs?
Typically white, but I've gotten brown sometimes.
Okay, because
Sometimes I
I
buy brown accidentally.
I only buy brown eggs. I don't know
what's the
why. Like I
difference?
would never buy white eggs. I don't know, but they weird me out. I don't like them as much.
We'll
Is
have
it
to
because
find
you
out.
can see like the speckly outside or something?
I just feel like there's no reason, but I just think this is funny. We all
This
have
is funny.
weird preferences, so I love this. All right, Ash, pick a number for me.
37.
37. Let's see what we got here. All right. The one oh my God.
If it's bad, pick
Okay.
another.
When you're home alone, is there a song that makes you want to dance like Tom Cruise in Risky Business?
No. I don't know. It
The
depends
answer is no.
No, I think it depends on the mood I'm in. I don't know, actually. I would say actually Flume right now.
Oh,
Because
you're right.
we used to go to bar, well, we still go to bar, but a lot together, and this one instructor always played, what was it? I don't know if we can
Say
play
It by Flume.
Yes.
I'm going to also tell you the one that I'm shaking my butt to right now.
It's going to be something Taylor Swift.
Yeah, you're right.
I know.
So because
know
I
you.
told you I'm really into Taylor Swift right now. I go through phases where I don't listen to anyone forever. I'm getting a lot of shade from our producer right now. But the song I Think He Knows by Taylor Swift, I like never caught this
You
one when
can
it
sing
came
it for
out.
us after.
And I really love it. Sierra, are there any songs that you're grooving to at home?
You know, we have been playing the Kygo Whitney Houston Hot Stuff lately. Lily loves
Oh,
it.
that's such a-
Obsessed. It's such a good one. You can't go wrong. Like it makes you want to dance.
That's
I
a
love
good one.
that. I'm down for that. All right.
Anything country would make me dance, probably.
I know, but like Risky
You'd be in a
Business
great
where
mood
you're
if you
breaking
went
it
to
down.
country.
Yeah.
Do you think? No.
No, all the time.
Oh, all the time.
We're diehard country fans here.
Okay.
Don't worry, we'll convert you. by the
Okay,
end of your-
We're
Okay.
talking pop country. Let's just
Okay,
put
I
that
see.
because we get
Okay.
shade from people that are into music. This is not Thomas Rhett is not country,
Oh, I see.
but he is.
All
We
right.
love him.
For sure.
Here we go. This is my question. I'm going to answer. If you had to choose, would you rather never be able to listen to music again or never be able to watch movies again?
Oh,
I'm going to choose to never watch movies again.
same.
It's a terrible thing, but I don't watch that many movies, and
Same.
like I can't go without music.
Same.
No, I would pick music.
We're all
Yeah,
in this
100%,
together.
150%.
That's a no-brainer.
Yeah, same.
All right, I love this. Sierra, thank you for coming on today and enlightening us about the world of pageants. And
It was great.
Yay!
It was fun. It was truly fun. It was
awesome.
So we sounded really sarcastic. But
You
No.
sound amazing.
We
Thank
love
you
having
so
you.
much.
Thank you.
Great. Thanks for having me.